Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. A state of emergency has been declared in the town of Nin after Monday's severe storm. Torrential rains triggered flash flooding in the Zadar area, leaving roads, homes, and businesses underwater. Electricity has been restored in Nin, but water is still not fit for consumption. Schools and daycare were closed today. The Nin salt works is waterlogged, and the year's salt yield has likely been destroyed. The Army's amphibious vehicles were pulling cars out of the water. Residents and business owners are trying to salvage what they can.
Everything is flooded. There was probably up to a meter of water. We will tally up the damage. You can see our two historic bridges leading to the center of town will probably be the biggest investment the city will have to make. I expect the Ministry of Culture and the government will provide assistance.
Zadar is starting to tally up the massive damage caused by Monday's flooding. Firefighters and service crews are working around the clock. The city's sewage treatment system has been damaged. However, tap water is safe for drinking. Schools and daycare were open today, and the local hospital is operating normally. The Red Cross is sending dehydrators to help with the cleanup effort. Damages in Zadar County are expected to be in the millions of kuna.
The sewage treatment plant has suffered damage in the millions. We hope to get it fixed and restored as soon as possible. By the end of the week, we'll have a complete tally from all the districts and towns. Then I will declare a state of emergency based on this data.
We have some video showing just how powerful the flash floods were. This was filmed in Briševo, Zadar County. The Jaruga River swelled to such a degree that it completely destroyed the road, leaving a truck stranded in its wake. Monday's storm swept over the islands off the coast of Zadar. Ugljan, Pašman, and Dugi Otok were affected. Many homes are flooded, boats sunk, and gardens, vineyards, and olive groves destroyed. Torrential waters also caused severe damage to some roads. President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović met with Hungary's Prime Minister and President today during a working visit to Budapest. The president tried to persuade Hungary's leadership to reverse their decision not to support Croatia's bid to join the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. However, they have not changed their policy. Hungary takes issue with Croatia's active arrest warrant for MOL CEO Zsolt Hernadi on bribery charges in connection with the INA MOL corruption case. Hungary is unhappy with the way the INA MOL case has been handled. There has been some progress recently. We agreed today that we'll continue talking about this and work on all levels to resolve open issues, including the INA MOL issue. I conveyed my unpleasant surprise over this decision and displeasure that anyone would try to force Croatia into doing something by blocking its accession to the OECD. Croatia also faces opposition from Slovenia in its bid to join the OECD because of Zagreb's refusal to recognize the border arbitration ruling. Deputy Prime Minister and Economy Minister Martina Dalic met with Slovenia's Prime Minister Miro Cerar today in Celje during an international business and trades fair in which Croatia is taking part. Although they did not discuss the arbitration ruling, Prime Minister Cerar said the issue would top the agenda of his meeting with his Croatian counterpart Andrej Plenković. He also clarified why he opposes a meeting of the Defense Committee of Slovenia's parliament. Namely, opposition lawmakers want to discuss behind closed doors Slovenia's military readiness in the event the dispute with Croatia escalates.
The Deputy Prime Minister and I did not discuss arbitration today, but we both agreed that it was an important issue that we will address at an upcoming meeting with Prime Minister Andrej Plenković. It is my right and duty as the PM and the chief negotiator on this issue to warn the chairman, Mr. Mahnic, to strike this item from the agenda because it is inappropriate. Slovenia supports a policy of peace and non-violence.
Hungary and Slovenia's policies on Croatia's bid to join the OECD were addressed by former Foreign Minister Miro Kovac. He believes Slovenia's policy must be placed in the context of the country's upcoming elections, while Hungary's are linked to the INA MOL corruption case and its dispute with the European Commission over refugee quotas.
We are paying too much attention to our accession to the OECD. It is an important organization, but it is not on the same level as accession to NATO or the EU. Joining the OECD is a long-term process and will take a few more years. If Croatia continues to be treated unreasonably, then it can also take a hard line in some situations that will disadvantage Hungary.
Member of Bosnia and Herzegovina's tripartite presidency, Bakir Izetbegović, has accused fellow member and current presidency chairman Dragan Čović of abusing the powers of his office by claiming that Bosnia had no legal obstacles that could prevent Croatia from building the Pelješac Bridge. Čović had conveyed that position during a meeting with Croatia's president. Izetbegović argues that it is unacceptable for the chairman of the presidency to represent the interests of another country instead of his own. Following a decision by the Croatian government in August, an agreement was signed today that will provide funding for programs and projects of special interest to the Croats in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The government has granted support in the amount of 23.5 million kuna for 88 programs and projects related to culture, education, science, and health.
We say that we want Croatia to become a country where people want to come and stay. That's what we want for Bosnia and Herzegovina too. If we help our people in there, we help all of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Prime Minister Andrej Plenković has met with Meng Jianchu, special envoy of the President of the People's Republic of China, to discuss bolstering economic cooperation, especially with respect to infrastructure and transportation. Both sides are confident trade and investment between the two countries will continue to grow. Next summer, China will send a contingent of police officers to help patrol some of Croatia's most popular tourist destinations. Police Chief Nikola Milina and China's Deputy Public Security Minister Li Wei have signed a cooperation memorandum. China will become the first non-European country to take part in Croatia's Safe Tourism Season project.
This is a measure that is on the one hand symbolic, but on the other, experience has shown that foreign tourists feel safer and like seeing police officers from their country deployed in Croatia. Croatia is an important country in Central Europe with strong tourism resources. We want to cooperate so that we can help Croatian tourism develop to the benefit of both of our countries.
In sports, Croatia's basketball team returned to Zagreb last night after their elimination from Eurobasket in the final 16 by Russia. Visibly disappointed, the team addressed their defeat in Istanbul. Krunoslav Simon has said he will be leaving the team. The National Federation is expected to announce in a few days whether Aleksandar Petrović will stay on as head coach. Mostly sunny and dry weather is forecast for Wednesday. The interior may see some morning fog, and there is still a chance of some lingering rain in the far east and south early in the day. Winds will shift to northeasterlies and northwesterlies overnight along the coast. Wind speeds will start out quite strong, reaching gale force gusts along the shore, but conditions will improve during the day, especially in the north. Morning lows will range from 8 to 13 degrees in the interior and from 13 to 18 on the Adriatic. The day's highs will be between 21 and 26 degrees, slightly cooler in the mountains. The three-day outlook in the interior calls for variable conditions with occasional rain and showers, primarily in the mountains. The east can count on mostly dry weather. On Thursday, expect a high southerly wind that will drive up temperatures before they cool off again on Friday and then rise again over the weekend. On the coast, the weather for the rest of the week in Dalmatia will be considerably different than in the north. While Dalmatia will be mostly sunny and dry with a moderate to high southeasterly wind, the north can expect occasional rain showers and thunder showers with a chance of some heavier precipitation in places. And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.